Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Meaty69 and welcome back to my top 5 series. And today, just like the intro, as you've seen in the intro, we're going to be looking at my top 5 tank destroyers. Now, before I made this video, I thought this is going to be pretty easy. I roughly know what top 5 I am going to pick, but then it comes down to picking. And you know what? Doing these kind of videos is so hard because you think you've got a top 5. And I mean, you have to narrow it down. There's so many TDs, not just in tier 10, but there's tier 9, tier 8, tier 7, tier 6. There's just loads of TDs, and not just TDs, but any kind of tank type. And you narrow it down to like 10. And then you've got to take 5 out of that. I don't want to do a top 10, it's a top 5 series, so I want to stick to that and do a top 5. And I've had to leave some very good tanks out, and some of you may not agree, rightly so. It is up to you, it's your decision, but these are actually my opinion, my favourite tank destroyer, my top 5 tank destroyers in the game. So coming in at number 5 was the E3. Now, once upon a time, the E3 was probably one of the worst tanks in tier 10, in my opinion. It was slow, like really slow, and it just could not turn. The gun, if you get circled, which is still the same now, but it's been buffed, it's been nerfed, and they gave it a speed buff, and that speed buff was just the best thing they have ever done to this tank, because it made it into a really competitive tank. The armor is still there. It has been nerfed slightly. I'm not sure what nerf it has had, but I know recently it has had a nerf. I'm sure you guys can tell me in the comments what nerf it had. I think it was, I'm not sure if it was the Traverse or the armor, I'm not sure. But it is still an amazing tank, amazingly strong tank. Now, you can get up close and personal to tanks and bully them using that armor. Now, the hatch is actually a weak point, but it's still very troll. Very troll indeed. Now, you can aim up at this hatch and you can still get bounces, like nice bounces from Death Stars, which you have just seen there. So we've blocked now 1700 damage. It's 2 against 4. We are nearly full health, but we've got a Death Star to our left. We've got an IS-4 to our right, and we get one more shot in that Death Star, and now we can turn and we can face the IS-4, because if he gets behind you, there is not much else you can do. And that is the only downfall with this tank. But then that's the only downfall with a lot of turretless TDs. Once you get a tank behind you, especially if it's a medium, there really is nothing. There is nothing you can do. But this tank is just satisfying. It's when you get shots like that. Yes, we are getting shot from the IS-4, but we've also bounced 2100 damage. Now, the IS-4 could potentially be one shot or a high roll if we get it. And the gun on this thing is, I just absolutely love the gun. And you can see there, lovely high roll, and we can take out the IS-4. My teammate Death Star, nice E3, he's noticed that I've done a very good job. So 2 tanks left alive. We've got 2100 block damage. We've got 5100 damage, and here is the Death Star. So we're going to get one shot into him, leave him on 17 HP. Now he can clear us, but we get another bounce, so that's pushed us up to 3400 block damage. We're going to load the HE because there is no point risking a bounce, because if I get a bounce on that Death Star, he could potentially take me out, which he wasn't going to, because our teammate Batchat was right behind him. So now all it leaves is the Object 263. Now, I'm not a one shot to him, so we can poke forward and we can get our final shot. So 4 kills, 3.4k blocked damage. We also got 6,000 damage for ourselves. We ended on an ace and we get 33,000 credits. So a pretty nice game, and that game is actually featured on Crazy Tactics channel. Next up, coming in at number 4. Now this just snuck in there. I've only just got this tank, and this battle was, I think, 82% crew skill. And I'm absolutely loving the Foch. Now, if I wasn't a contributor and I did not have a contributor account, this tank probably would not make it into my top 5. But it used to be one of the only tanks I go to on my contributor accounts to play, because I just really loved it. You can get shots like this on the bat chat, just over 1,000 damage, and our teammate can take him out. Our E3 can take him out. So that's now the fastest tank in the tier 10 in our game that has been taken out. However, our team are dying up there. There's a couple in by B, but it's a nice tank. This tank, the armor on this tank is so troll, like really troll. It's very good sloped. It's very good. The gun is very good. The speed is very good. However, just like the E3, the side armor and the rear armor is not so good. So you've always got to face the enemy. Don't let the enemy get to the side of you or behind you, because you can be HG'd almost by anything. But you can see there, when you're angled, again, you've got 2 hatches on top, and they are very troll. Very troll indeed. And you can see we bounced 2 shots already. We're going to get a shot into that Jagdpanzer, and we're going to back up, and we're going to reload, and we're going to hide behind our team. So the Jagdpanzer, the tortoise, is going to get 1 shot into the Jagdpanzer, which means we can poke forward. We've reloaded. We can take him out. So we take him out for our first kill. So it's now 4 against 5. You've got the Centurion down here that is full health. E100 takes out our IS-7. So we're going to poke forward. We're going to get a shot into that Centurion. But there is an E4 there, and you can see as we are backing up, we are doing it at an angle, and because of that, we get a bounce from that E4. So it's 3 against 5. The E4 is a 1 shot, so we're going to switch to the heat just to guarantee the pen, and we're going to take him out for our second kill. So the tortoise is going to die very soon, and the enemy have got 2 caps, so we need to start doing something. And here goes a lovely shot into the Leopard PTA, just over 700 damage, which pushes us to 4.6k damage, and we've already blocked 1,300 damage. And it's just me and the Leo left alive against the E100, the Centurion, and the T54 E1. And again, just like the other battle, this replay has been featured. I did share it on Wotb replays channel. Great channel, go and check him out. It is on there. He has shared it, but I thought I'd share it again because I was doing top 5 and this fits in, so I thought I would just add it in anyway. I'm not talking about reviewing the tank in any way. It's just I thought I would add it in because it was a really good battle to prove and to show why this has made it into my top 5. So I'm now last alive against E100 and the T54 E1. However, the T54 E1 is a 1 shot, but the E100 isn't. So we need to get that first shot into him. We are going to wiggle, but unfortunately we don't manage to get the bounce. But we're going to reload before him. Luckily, I'm not a 1 shot. He's not a 1 shot. So if I reload before him, we are going to use the heat to guarantee the pen. We put him now down to a 1 shot. He's going to now shoot us down to a 1 shot, but we're going to reload before him. Now, this stupid T54 E1, I don't know why he went that way. If he would have went behind, they would have won easily. And again, even there, I just shoot the E100, but for some reason, he does not want to push me. So, which is great. He pushes, we're going to get 1 bounce, and he's not going to reload in time. We're going to use the HE, and we're going to take him out. So that battle, 1,600 damage, 1.6k block damage, 6.9k damage, 1,638 XP. So lovely battle, lovely troll battle, nice bounces, and that is why that tank is my number 4. So coming in at number 3 is my most played tank in the game, and that is the Death Star. Now, a lot of people want this tank removed from the game because it just ruins tier 10. I completely disagree. I'm not just saying that because it's my most played tank. Now, yes, it's not nice getting a Hesh shot, which you're going to see a couple of times in this game. And first up on my list is this Conqueror. So 1 minute in, we're going to use the HE and we're going to splash him for 14, 15, 1600 damage. 1633 damage, and we managed to kill him. And that is why I love this tank. To be able to do that is just fun. It really is fun. And if that wasn't enough, we're going to do it yet again to the Chieftain. Lovely. That was a low roll, 1100 damage, but he's now a one shot. He does get a shot into us, but 2 shots we've done just under 3k damage. Like I said, I can understand why people don't want this in the game, because yes, the alpha of this thing, or the Hesh, is pretty insane. Now, it doesn't bother me if I'm not in this tank and there's one on the enemy team. In fact, if I get a Hesh for 1500 damage, I laugh. I don't sit there and think, for fuck's sake, fucking Death Stars. I actually sit there and laugh and just think, nah, stupid me. Because I actually gave them the opportunity to get that Hesh shot into me. Just like that IS-7. Another low roll, 1100 damage. But I've done 3 shots now. Well, 4 shots, because I took out the Chieftain that was really low hit points. And we've done 4k damage. And that is why people want this tank removed, because we've just had, it's just been over 2 minutes gone. 2.5 minutes, and we've done 4k damage. Now, we do have a failed Hesh shot into the Tortoise, only doing just over 500 damage. But we've already done our job. We've got 4.5k damage, 2 tanks left alive, 3.5 minutes, 2.5 minutes, sorry, gone on the clock. And now we're going to take out the Tortoise. So 5.4k damage in just over 2.5 minutes. Now, there is not many tanks in the game that can do that. And in fact, that was actually a very, very easy ace. 5.4k damage, 6 shots, 1300 base XP. So it is getting a nerf next update, which it does need a nerf. I believe it does need a nerf, but it's getting a traverse nerf. I don't think an accuracy nerf. Well, I don't think that is the problem. I think the main problem with the Death Star is the camo. The camo. Now, you could be right in front of a Death Star. You could be right in front of a tank and not get spotted. Now, for me, that's the big problem with the Death Star, is the camo value. That does need to be nerfed. But moving up to number 2 on my list, and that is the Grille. The Grille, for me, is much better. It's much more fun than the Death Star. You're not going to be doing the 1500 damage or the 1600 HE damage. But it's just, this tank is better in all kind of situations. Yes, it's got no armor, but it's got a fantastic gun, great accuracy, and the tank is really, really quick. So if you get spotted, you can just get the hell out of there. You can run away, and you could be gone, and you could get round the other end of the other side of the map very, very quickly. Now, this battle, it's great for a support tank. It really is, especially in a platoon. If your platoon is either a medium or a heavy, as you can see here, my mate Johnny, he's pushing up in the IS-7. So he is spotted, I'm not spotted, which means the tanks in front are going to poke round. And as soon as they poke round, they're going to get a nasty 600 to 700 alpha damage into them. And yes, you're going to get then spotted, but just back up behind a rock, and there is not much they can do. And you can see we don't really do much damage this battle, but just the support tank. So I've been supporting J-Dog, I've been supporting the other tank near us, which is, let me wait, can't see it, which is the E100. And there was the E50M there was an IS-7, and there was an E100. They could have easily pushed these two, but me being at the back stopped them getting pushed. Now the E50, a nice 678 alpha into the E50, putting him down to a one shot. And now it is 6 against 4. We're winning on cap points. We got 2 caps. We're capping the third base. So now we can start pushing in. Not a problem. I'm still full hit points. E50 is very low hit points. E100 is low hit points. And the Leopard 1 is just about to die. However, the E50M does take a shot into me, but I'm not too bothered about him at the minute. And all it leaves now is the enemy IS-7. So we're going to get 1 shot into him. We're going to back up, and now he can shoot us no problem. We've got enough hit points to take a shot. And we're going to get one final 707 damage shot into him. So that is why the Grille is on my top 2. Now, number 1 on my list is this newish tank here. It is the Scorpion G. It is a tier 8 tank destroyer. And oh my god, I love this thing. It's pretty much a Grille in tier 8. And being as the Grille is my number 2, this has to be my number 1. Just, the gun is to die for. The accuracy is to die for. The reload is really, really good. The speed on the tank is really, really good. Just almost everything about this tank, except for its camo and its camo value and the armor, it really is really, really good. Now you're going to see as this battle, it has just about everything. A bit of YOLO, a bit of luck, and lovely, lovely shots, just like that into the T-54. Now most of the enemy are sitting up there, and I'm glad I got that shot into the T-54, whereas there is one tier 9, and so he's pretty much the most dangerous tank, so we do aim at him while we can. But because they're so close, our camo value isn't the greatest in this tank. So every time you do shoot with tanks so close, you are getting spotted. And as you can see, we have been shot once. But for me, this tank just doesn't get boring. And I was lucky enough to get it in just a couple of crates. I think I spent about £16 to get this tank, whereas some people spent hundreds trying to get the tank. But I was lucky enough to just get it in, I think it was, I can't remember, about 8 crates, I think it was. So I was very, very lucky. And you can see there, as soon as you shoot, you're going to get shot. As soon as you spotted, you're going to get shot. So you need to play this very similar to the Grille. So sit back, deal damage, save your hit points, and later on in the battle, once you are still very, very healthy with your hit points, you can go in and you can clear up tanks with the nice alpha damage, with the nice gun, just like this on the T-34. Easily we can clear them up. 4 tanks left now on the enemy. Now the T-54, I'm with my good friend Johnny, he's in the mod 1, and the T-54 is about to push him. Now this tank hasn't got great gun depression, and that's the only thing I think that lets this tank down, is the gun depression. But you give it an extra 1 degree or 2 degrees, then I think this tank will become way too overpowered. And oops, an IS-6 here, luckily he low rolls, I high roll. I'm on 47 HP. I need to stop him ramming me. He gets a little tap there, another little tap, but we do manage to clear him, and we are on 23 HP. So there's just 2 tanks left, which is the Tiger 2 and the T-34. So we've got 5 tanks left alive. We are almost winning. We've almost won on supremacy points. So this is where we're going to go and YOLO win. So you can see on the side, we've already got 3.8k damage, so we're going to YOLO in, and a lovely shot on the Tiger just before he pokes behind the building. So now we're up until, we're at 4.1k damage, and now the T-34 is coming for me. We want to get 1 more shot in, and we get a lucky track bounce, but that's great because I'm going to reload before him, and we're going to take him out for my 4th kill. So that battle just goes to show how fun this tank can be. 4.7k damage. We blocked a shot right at the end there, and we finish on the ace, 151,000 credits. So that is why this tank is my number one. Now, I have missed out so many decent TDs, such like the 268, the 263. These are all fantastic tanks. The E4, the Jagdtiger. But this one for me is my number one. So I hope you enjoyed this top 5. Next top 5 will either be mediums or top 5 heavies or top 5 medium light tanks. It'll be one of those. But for now, I'm Easy69 and I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.